Whose life?
The KZN commissioner, the lieutenant Mkhwana.
I have not heard that the KZN police commissioner could be in danger, but he's a police official, and as a police official, obviously he has people who support him in his work. So I think his life should be well secured, because as a police official with a number of other police officials working with you, there should be no danger. What is your question?
The KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner, Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, and a group of officers are facing damning allegations involving abduction, torture, arson, perjury, and unlawful cross-border activities. The shocking claims are detailed in a confidential SAPS report and a sworn affidavit by one of the alleged victims, Ismail Maulid Romas Nangi, prompting parallel investigations, including one by the Independent Police Investigative Directorate, IPID. The saga traces back to a high-profile case in September 2024 when Nangi, Stefan Pereira da Costa Brits, and Samkelo Mloja were arrested for the alleged kidnapping and extortion of Durban businessman Zack Desai. The trio were accused of demanding 35 million rand in ransom. However, on 22 January 2025, the charges were abruptly withdrawn, sparking questions about procedural irregularities and raising accusations of unlawful conduct by the police. According to Nangi's affidavit, the nightmare began in November 2024 as he traveled from Mpumalanga to Johannesburg. Near Benoni's Craft Road interchange, two unmarked vehicles, a white VW Golf 8 and a BMW, cut them off. Armed men allegedly pulled Nangi and his companion from their car, pointed firearms at them, forced them to the ground, and covered their heads, all without presenting a warrant. The men, said to include both SAPS officers and private security personnel, transported the pair to a private residence in Hudson, Johannesburg, where the alleged abuse escalated, and said our clothes were cut off with knives while we were still handcuffed, causing injuries. None of their possessions, including cash, phones, and Nangi's Mercedes-Benz, were logged in official SAPS records, a clear violation of police procedure. Nangi described the physical abuse as brutal and relentless. He claimed that interrogators accused him of involvement in a kidnapping and demanded to know his connection to a man named Jaminho when he refused to unlock his iPhone. Nangi said he was subjected to choking and waterboarding using a plastic bag, and said they beat and tortured me, including genital torture with garden shears. Under pressure, he eventually unlocked the phone. During the ordeal, Nangi was forced to call his wife while his captors threatened her, allegedly demanding she assist in locating her or return me in pieces. His associate was separated and taken to Mpumalanga, where the torture allegedly continued on November 20, and said hanging upside down was a torture. The report claims the victims were held overnight and later moved to multiple locations, including Matsulu near the Mozambique border and KwaDukuza in KwaZulu-Natal. One victim reportedly required hospitalization due to the severity of the injuries. But most shocking allegation involves a secret meeting on 9 December 2024 where Nangi, his associate, and that suspect, an SAPS officer, were removed from prison and taken to a private farm near KwaDukuza. According to the police report, Mkhwanazi and members of the complainant's family were present. The commissioner allegedly berated one suspect, saying he should have committed suicide. The report also notes that further torture was inflicted at this location, this time allegedly in the presence of Mkhwanazi and the complainant's relatives. The report also implicates the police in the destruction of evidence. Nangi's Mercedes-Benz, which was supposedly in SAPS custody, was later found burnt in Pietermaritzburg, and said the car had been booked into SAPS Detten. The internal report notes evidence strongly suggests the police were responsible for destroying the vehicle, constituting arson. Officers are also accused of burning down the house of a third suspect during a search in Matsulu, despite the suspect not being present. Nangi claimed that SAPS has refused to return his personal property, including 2 phones, luxury watches, 18,000 rand in cash, and the vehicle despite multiple legal demands. Subsequent raid on his mainstream residence, allegedly conducted by the Hawks without a warrant, resulted in the detention of his wife and further property confiscations. The confidential police report recommends multiple charges, including 3 counts of torture, 2 of arson, perjury, kidnapping, obstructing of justice, and violations of constitutional rights, including illegal extradition procedures. The document calls for a firm, independent, and courageous prosecutor to take on the case. A whistleblower warned of potential retaliation, saying if formal charges are laid, I will seek protection, as this matter implicates high-ranking individuals within the SAPS. When contacted for comment, IPID spokesperson Lizzie Suping declined to provide details, stating only that President Cyril Ramaphosa has instituted a commission to investigate allegations involving police services and other law enforcement agencies. Meanwhile, President Cyril Ramaphosa sought to downplay fears during public appearance over the weekend, stating unequivocally that General Ndlela Mkhwanazi is not in any danger. His comments, however, stank in a stark contrast to those of National Commissioner Fanny Masemula, who earlier this month confirmed that Mkhwanazi's life was indeed under threat. Addressing media virtually from a facility in Vanderbay Park, Masemula revealed that Mkhwanazi has been receiving repeated threats. In response, security around the provincial commissioner has been significantly enhanced. He said in terms of physical protection, he has been getting threats of his life in that province. We have beefed up his security, but he won't be persecuted from my side. Surely there will be no persecution of any member of the South African Police Service, not only him, but anyone. Mkhwanazi made settling allegations implicating Police Minister Senzo Mchunu in attempts to dismantle the task team investigating political killings in the province. He further accused the minister of having links to drug cartels and alleged that the Deputy National Commissioner of SAPS has been colluding with underworld figures to prevent high-profile criminals from ever facing trial. These revelations have not only sent shockwaves through the corridors of power, but have also raised questions about whether Mkhwanazi is being targeted in a broader effort to silence him. Critics are now questioning whether the mixed messaging from government leaders is calculated strategy to diffuse public concern or an indication of deeper divisions within the state security apparatus. Others view the allegations and the response to them as possible campaign to silence a whistleblower who may know too much.
Are you afraid to be told that you are a commander that does not want to arrest people? I made a decision at one stage that you cannot detain a person if you don't have a case. Where did I end up? In the media. IP was thrown on me. Did I bury my head on the ground? No, I didn't. I'm still standing. Because I knew what I was doing was right.
What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.